You ever notice how the nicest person in the room somehow ends up doing the most? And getting respected the least? Yeah. Not the loud one, not the rude one, not even the messy one who forgets everything. It's always the sweet one, the reliable one, the no worries I got it person, the human band-aid. And if that's you, oh my friend, tonight we need to talk. Because being kind is beautiful, but being too nice, that can become a magnet for disrespect, manipulation, guilt, resentment, exhaustion, and people treating your heart like it has unlimited free trial access. And the wild part, most people who are too nice don't even realize what's happening until one day they snap over something tiny. Somebody asks, "Hey, can you do me one small favor?" And suddenly you're in the kitchen breathing like a dragon because your soul has had enough. You're not crazy, you're overloaded. And Carl Jung would say, this has everything to do with the parts of yourself you've hidden away just to be accepted. See, that's the dark truth nobody says loud enough. Sometimes niceness is not kindness. Sometimes it's fear wearing a smile. And when fear wears perfume and polite words, the wrong people can smell it from a mile away. Let's get into it. Because if you've ever been the person who keeps the peace, swallows your anger, says yes when you mean no, laughs when something actually hurt your feelings, and then goes home wondering why you feel invisible, this video is for you. And honestly, if this hits you in the chest, drop a comment that says, kind, not weak. Because that right there is the whole mission. Now let's start with the part nobody likes to admit. When most people say, I'm just a nice person, what they often mean is, I don't want conflict. I don't want anyone mad at me. I don't want to look selfish. I don't want to be rejected. I don't want to lose people. I need to be liked. I feel guilty when I choose myself. I learned a long time ago that being agreeable kept me safe. That is not the same thing as pure kindness. That is survival. And survival is sneaky. It will dress itself up as virtue. It will make you feel noble for abandoning yourself. It will have you out here saying, I'm just being a good person, while your inner world looks like a broken shopping cart with one wheel screaming. Jung talked about the persona and the shadow. The persona is the face you show the world. The social mask. The version of you that knows how to function, fit in, be acceptable, be lovable, be good. Now that sounds fine, right? Sure, we all need some persona. You can't just walk into every room acting like a raccoon in a grocery store. But here's the problem. When your whole identity becomes the nice one, anything that threatens that image gets pushed down. Your anger? Buried. Your real opinion? Buried. Your selfish needs? Buried. Your ability to say absolutely not? Buried so deep it needs GPS. That buried part is what Jung would call the shadow, and the shadow is dangerous when ignored, not because it makes you evil, but because it makes you unconscious. You don't stop having anger just because you hide it. You don't stop having needs just because you silence them. You don't become pure light just because you smile through pain. You just become easier to read and easier to use. That's the dark truth. Predatory people, selfish people, entitled people, and even regular emotionally lazy people can sense when someone has weak boundaries. Not because they're all masterminds in black suits petting cats. No, half the time they just test little things, tiny things. Can you stay late? Can you lend me this? Can you cover for me? Can you help me real quick? Can you not make a big deal out of this? Can you be patient with me? Can you understand where I'm coming from? Can you let this go? And because you're nice, you do. Again, and again, and again. Until one day you look up and realize people don't ask for your help with appreciation anymore. They ask with expectation. That right there is where the shift happens. The first time, it was gratitude. The 10th time, it became access. The 20th time, it became your job. You trained them. And I know that sounds harsh, but stay with me. You trained people that your time is flexible, your energy is available, your peace is negotiable, your no is weak, your yes is easy, your limits can be pushed. And once people get used to the soft version of you, the moment you show a spine, they act shocked. Suddenly you're different. Suddenly you're cold. Suddenly you're too sensitive. Suddenly you've changed. No, you didn't become mean. You just stopped offering unlimited emotional Uber Eats. And that confuses people who got used to eating for free. Let's make this painfully real. At work, the too nice person becomes everybody's backup plan. You're such a team player, which is corporate language for, we have located the one person who feels guilty saying no. You cover shifts, you fix mistakes, you answer messages after hours, you do the extra little thing nobody else wants to do, and people clap for you just enough to keep you going, not enough to change your paycheck, not enough to protect your peace. Just enough to keep your kindness on life support. Then one day you finally say, I can't do that. And watch the room go silent like you just announced you eat batteries for breakfast. Because people often don't mind your suffering, they mind your boundaries. In friendships, it's the same movie with different lighting. You become the therapist friend, the planner friend, the listener friend, the I'm here for you anytime friend. But the second you need something, everybody got low battery. Everybody in a tunnel. Everybody suddenly in witness protection. You know that friendship where they send you a 14-minute voice note about their ex every Tuesday like it's a podcast you never subscribed to? Yeah, that one. And when you finally try to talk about your own life, they hit you with, damn, that's crazy. Then back to their drama. That's not friendship. That's emotional Airbnb. In love? Oh, being too nice in love can get extra tragic, because when someone hasn't built self-respect, they often confuse overgiving with love. They tolerate late replies, mixed signals, broken promises. Disrespect disguised as, I'm just going through a lot right now. Listen, everybody is going through something, but not everybody uses it as a coupon code for treating people badly. A too nice person will stay loyal to potential, stay patient with confusion, stay available to inconsistency, stay understanding while being slowly drained like a phone at 2% brightness on full blast. And the worst part? They'll call it love because walking away feels mean. But Jung would say that what you refuse to face within yourself does not disappear. It returns in other forms. So the anger you won't express becomes resentment. The truth you won't say becomes anxiety. The boundary you won't hold becomes depression. The self you keep betraying becomes emptiness. You smile outside, but inside, you're tired. Not, I need a nap, tired. I'm talking soul tired. The kind of tired where even a simple text message feels like somebody handed you an unpaid internship. Now here's where it gets deep. A lot of people become too nice because somewhere in life they learned one dangerous equation: love, pleasing people. Maybe as a child you got rewarded for being easy, for not causing problems, for being mature too early, for reading the room, for calming adults down, for not having needs, for being the good one. And when you got older, you carried that same programming into every room. So now you don't ask, what do I feel? You ask, what will keep everything smooth? You don't ask, what do I want? You ask, what will make them stay? You don't ask, is this fair? You ask, how do I avoid disappointing anyone? That's heavy. Because now your whole identity is built around emotional shape-shifting. You become whoever the room rewards. And after years of that, you can look successful, loved, needed, appreciated, and still not know who you really are. That's why this topic matters. because this is not just about people using you. It's about what you had to bury in yourself to become so acceptable. Jung said the shadow doesn't only contain ugly things. That's important. The shadow also contains strength, assertiveness, healthy aggression, clarity, boldness, instinct, real desire, even creativity. So when you bury your dangerous side just to stay nice, you're not only hiding anger, you might also be hiding your power. And let's clear something up, because people get weird when they hear words like aggression. Healthy aggression is not abuse. Healthy aggression is not being cruel. Healthy aggression is the life force that says, no, that doesn't work for me. Don't speak to me like that. I'm leaving. I deserve better. You don't get unlimited access to me just because I'm kind. That is not toxic. That is alive. A dog with no teeth is not more peaceful than a dog with teeth. It's just more vulnerable. And some of you have spent years trying to become toothless so everybody would call you sweet. Meanwhile, life keeps biting you, no more. Let me tell you something uncomfortable. If you never let people see that you can disappoint them, they will never fully respect you. Because respect needs edges. Warmth is beautiful. Compassion is beautiful. Generosity is beautiful. But when they come without limits, people stop seeing them as gifts. They start seeing them as your default setting, like Wi-Fi, only noticed when it's gone. And that's why two nice people become resentful, not because they're secretly evil, but because part of them knows they are participating in their own disappearance. That resentment is the shadow knocking. Not politely either. Boom, boom, boom. Hello? Remember me? I'm your anger. I'm your truth. I'm your standards. I'm your dignity. Why am I locked in the basement while your mouth keeps saying it's okay? And the longer you ignore that knock, the stranger it comes out. Passive aggression, sarcasm, ghosting, random explosions over tiny things, emotional shutdown, silent scorekeeping, smiling in person, venting in private. You ever say, no problem, when it was, in fact, a huge problem? That's shadow theater. And listen, we've all done it. Some of y'all are so nice you could be actively drowning and still apologize to the water. Sorry, I'm making this weird. No. No more weird apologies for having human needs. Now let's talk about why abuse gets invited into this dynamic, not caused by your kindness. Let's be clear. If someone abuses, manipulates, exploits, or disrespects you, that is on them. But weak boundaries create easy opportunities. And exploitative people love easy opportunities. They look for delay in your no, guilt in your voice, confusion in your standards, hope where there should be distance, empathy with no breaks. They test you with something small first. If you let that slide, they go bigger, then bigger, then bigger. And because you're attached to being seen as nice, you keep giving second chances like you own a forgiveness factory. You become the person saying, they're not a bad person. They've just had a hard life. They didn't mean it like that. I don't want to overreact. Maybe I'm being too harsh. I just need to be more understanding. Meanwhile, your nervous system is filing a complaint. Your body knows before your mind admits it. Tight chest, heavy stomach, dread when their name pops up, relief when plans get cancelled, exhaustion after every conversation. That's data. Please hear me. Your body is not being dramatic. Your body is keeping receipts. And one reason Jung's ideas still hit so hard is because he understood something many people still avoid. What we refuse to face inside ourselves gets acted out in our relationships. If you refuse your anger, you attract people who force it. If you refuse your power, you attract people who overpower you. If you refuse your right to say no, life keeps sending teachers disguised as users. Annoying teachers, by the way, the kind nobody asked for, the kind who show up with disrespect and a lesson plan. And the lesson is simple. Your kindness is not complete until it includes you. Let that sink in, because a lot of people are kind to others and brutal to themselves. They forgive others instantly, but shame themselves for one mistake. They give grace to everyone else, but call themselves selfish for needing rest. They tell friends to set boundaries, then turn into a folding chair the second somebody pressures them. That's not balance. That's self-abandonment with good manners. So what does healing actually look like? It does not mean becoming rude. It does not mean turning cold. It does not mean developing a fake alpha podcast voice and pointing at the camera like you just discovered protein. Calm down. Real healing is quieter than that. It looks like pausing before you say yes. It looks like letting silence happen after a request. It looks like not over-explaining your boundaries. It looks like noticing guilt and not obeying it. It looks like telling the truth sooner. It looks like disappointing people before you destroy yourself. That last one, write it on the wall. Disappoint people before you destroy yourself. Because one of the biggest lies too nice people believe is, if I set a boundary, I'll lose love. Sometimes, yes. But hear me carefully. You will only lose love that required your disappearance. And that was never love worth keeping. The right people may be surprised by your new boundaries, but they will adjust. The wrong people will protest, guilt trip, mock, withdraw, or call you selfish. That reaction tells you everything. A boundary does not ruin healthy love. It reveals unhealthy love. That's why the moment you stop overgiving, certain relationships suddenly feel off. They were built on access, not intimacy. They liked your availability, not your authenticity. And when the supply changes, the relationship shakes. Good. Let it shake. Anything built on your silence deserves to feel unstable when you start speaking. Now let's get practical, because insight without action is just fancy suffering. If you want to stop being too nice without becoming bitter, here are a few shifts. First, stop answering immediately. Too nice people often respond too fast because they're managing other people's feelings in real time. Someone asks for something and your mouth says yes before your spirit even logs in. Slow down. Try this. Let me think about that. I'll get back to you. I'm not sure yet. That doesn't work for me. I can't commit to that. These are not crimes. You are not robbing a bank. You are buying yourself 5 seconds of self-respect. Second, stop turning boundaries into TED Talks. Some of you explain your no like you're in court defending your innocence before the Supreme Council of random people. I'm so sorry. It's just that I've had a really busy week and my cousin's dog has this thing, and mentally I'm trying to... No. Try this magical sentence. I won't be able to. That's it. Elegant. Clean, moisturized, unbothered. Third, notice who punishes your honesty. Pay attention to people who get weird when you become clear. People who only like you soft, available, agreeable, and self-sacrificing are not attracted to your heart. They are attracted to your lack of resistance. Very different thing. Fourth, get familiar with clean guilt. There's dirty guilt, where you've actually done something wrong. And then there's clean guilt, where you simply chose yourself and your old conditioning panics. A lot of boundary setting feels bad at first, not because it's wrong, but because it's new. You're not used to protecting yourself, so your nervous system screams, "We're being selfish. We're going to die." Relax. You're not dying. You're just no longer volunteering as tribute. Fifth, let your anger teach you, not control you. Teach you. Anger is not always a monster. Sometimes anger is a flashlight. It points. It says, there, that moment, that comment, that pattern, that person, that thing you keep calling small. It's not small. Your anger may be the part of you that still remembers your worth when your people-pleasing forgets. That doesn't mean scream at everybody. It means listen. Sixth, Practice being warm and boundaried at the same time. This is the sweet spot. Not cold, not harsh, not fake nice, just solid. Love you, but no. I'm not available for that. I'm happy to help once, not every time. I don't like jokes like that. Please don't speak to me that way. I'm leaving now. That doesn't feel good to me. That is grown energy. That is kindness with a backbone. That is what many of us should have learned years ago. But hey, we're here now, and the Wi-Fi of wisdom has finally connected. And let me say something to the ones who are scared. Because I know some of you are hearing all this and thinking, but if I stop being nice, who will I be? You won't stop being nice. You'll stop being fake safe. You'll stop giving out peace at your own expense. You'll stop smiling through disrespect. You'll stop mistaking self-erasure for love, and what's left, a truer kindness, a stronger kindness. A kindness that isn't begging to be chosen. A kindness that can walk away. That's powerful. Jung believed wholeness matters more than perfection. That means becoming fully human, not a saint, not a mask, not a polished little angel who never upsets anyone. Fully human, with tenderness and fire, compassion and standards, love and limits, a soft heart and a locked front door. Because let's be honest, a house with no door is not welcoming. It's unsafe. And some of you have been trying to become spiritually open by removing every door, every lock, every boundary, every alarm system. Then acting surprised when emotional raccoons are in the kitchen. Lock the door. You can still be a lovely person with a locked door. Actually, that's usually the loveliest kind. So if this message is finding you at the exact moment you're tired of being taken for granted, tired of being the good one, tired of saying yes while your soul says, please stop. Take this as your sign. You do not need to become harder. You need to become clearer. You do not need to be less loving. You need to stop offering love without self-respect attached. You do not need to kill your kindness. You need to protect it. Because your kindness is expensive, it should not be lying around like free samples at a grocery store. And from this day on, let people earn access to the deepest parts of you, not with grand speeches, not with fake charm, not with guilt, not with pressure, with respect, with consistency, with care. And if someone can only enjoy you when you are over-giving, over-explaining, over-bending, over-forgiving, and undervaluing yourself, that is not your person. That is your pattern, and patterns can be broken, starting now. So next time somebody asks for too much, assumes too much, pushes too far, or treats your softness like weakness, don't panic. Don't smile automatically. Don't betray yourself in the name of being sweet. Pause, feel your body, hear the truth, and answer from the version of you that no longer abandons themselves to keep the room comfortable. That version of you? That version is going to change your life. And maybe make a few people uncomfortable. Beautiful. Growth with zero discomfort is usually just denial in nice clothes. So let them adjust. Let them call you different. Let them wonder what changed. You changed. You remembered that being good does not require being available for nonsense. You remembered that love without boundaries becomes leakage. You remembered that your shadow is not your enemy. It may actually contain the exact strength you need to stop living as emotional public property. That's the dark truth of being too nice. It doesn't only invite affection, it can invite abuse. Not because kindness is weak, but because unprotected kindness gets mistaken for permission. Don't give permission where there should be boundaries. Don't give loyalty where there should be distance. Don't give understanding where there should be consequences. And please, for the love of your future peace, don't keep calling self-betrayal just who I am. You are not here to be everyone's emotional support wallpaper. You are not here to be liked into exhaustion. You are not here to smile yourself into invisibility. You are here to become whole, and whole people are not always convenient. They are real. If this hit home, drop "kind, not weak" in the comments. I really want to see who's reclaiming themselves. And if you've ever had to unlearn people-pleasing, tell me the hardest part. Saying no, dealing with guilt, losing people, or speaking up in the moment. Let's talk in the comments. Because trust me, a lot of people need this conversation more than they admit. And if this gave language to something you've been feeling for years, you already know what to do. Stay sharp, stay warm, stay real, and never confuse being easy to use with being a good person. See you in the next one.